Hello, hello, hello. I wanted to jump in quickly. Actually, I should pause and say, I hope you're having a fantastic day and that you are taking the day off and all of those things, time with friends, times with family, time by yourself, whatever it is that you are hoping to do, to pause from all of that incredible work that you do every single day for your students, for your school, for your colleagues, for your organization, all of the things. Okay, but I wanted to jump in here quickly just to say we are fully into the new year. For those of you who have gloriously had the last few weeks off of summer, congratulations. But yeah, it's time, right? You're all starting up again this week. For those of us that have been here for a few weeks, we are like deeply into it, fully into the new school year. And so oftentimes we get a lot of questions of like, I'm looking for a data set about this, or can you help me find data that fits with this in their curriculum? And that is fantastic. And we love those questions. Keep sending those questions. And I wanted to share that we have revamped our way of sharing out different resources, and we will be adding to this through the fall. But I just wanted to give like a little bit primer of like, what are the changes that we made and why did we make them? Hopefully it will be helpful. So first off, we often get asked for a variety of different things. Sometimes teachers that we work with are looking for a specific data set that fits with their content and their curriculum. And if you have been to one of our programs, you will know that I am a big fan of don't spend hours and hours Googling for the perfect data set. One, the perfect data set doesn't exist. And two, you can just go down this like deep rabbit hole of Googling or of like chatting back and forth with AI to try to get what you want. But there are quite a few fantastic data set repositories, data set organizations that are all geared towards you, educators, that have tried to do some of the work. Are they absolutely exhaustive, perfect, have everything you're looking for? No, because that's not possible with the time and resources and other things. But there are a lot of great people out there that are working really hard to try to make things easier. So the very first thing we have is we highlight some of those that we know of. As I said, we are going to be adding more. There are more that we have on our list that we haven't been able to add yet. And if you have one of these kind of educationally minded data sets, data set sources, portals, things like that, please send them our way so that we can add it to this list so that we can all benefit. So this first category are some like places where you can go and look for data sets that have been curated or designed, developed with students in mind. So they are subject area specific, or they are tagged by grade levels, or they understand that our students can't look at 4,000 data points in third grade, right? So different pieces like that. It is still real world data. So these are not perfectly simulated, absolutely perfect, every dot falls on the line because we are teaching a linear relationship. Nope, that's not what you're going to find. These are real world data. And we have broken them out so that it's not just this endless list of a web page. We have broken them, we've tried to sort of group them by different categories and then alphabetize them within a category of different places that you can find these resources. Okay, so that is sort of the first big chunk of a section. The next big chunk is that not all data portals, unfortunately, are built for us educators, right? But that doesn't mean that there aren't fantastic data portals out there that could be really relevant to our subject areas. So we just couldn't drop shouting out some of these other fantastic sites that have great repositories of data sets that you can search and find different things. Just with the caveat of like, it's not built for us, for our classrooms and for our students. And so it takes an extra step. So, but we've put a list here of ones that we have worked with, that we've worked with teachers with, things like that over the years. And then finally, sometimes we're just looking for a data visualization. We're not looking in the activity or the lesson. And by we, I mean the teachers that we're working with. They're like, No, this activity, I am not focused on the students actually physically working with the data, adjusting it, dragging, dropping, manipulating, and by manipulating, I mean making the visualization out of the data. I want to work on other data skills, other data moves with my students. So I just need a visualization to get them looking at it for whatever reason, whatever the skill is. Maybe we're practicing describing and analyzing the patterns. Maybe we're practicing critiquing the data that has gone in terms of, does the data actually match what our question is? Different things like that. So then we just need visualizations. Sometimes that's similar to the dataset repositories, but sometimes it's not. So we also built out this section of sort of where can you easily go and find visualizations or resources around visualizations, real world visualizations. So again, we've put a bunch here. A lot of these links we sort of call out in that data in real life. If you want an even shorter list, jump in here and you can grab it. These three are three of our absolute full stop favorites. It is so fantastic. So I just want to give a few second nod to each because it's a new school year and there's a lot going on. And if you're looking for a little, how can I shake things up, and a do now and an exit ticket as an engage, as a hook into my unit, things like that, but I want it to be grounded in the real world. So first off, New York Times has been running the what's going on in this graph for many years at this point, where they take a visualization from an article and they pull it in during the week. And this is to build students' notice, think, wonder skills. What are we noticing within the graph in terms of how things are visualized? What are the axes? What is on the graph? What is not on the graph? What is in the title? What is not in the title? What are different features that I can see in the data values in the graph? Think, what are some things this makes me think of? Or I think the designer might be going for here, or I think this might be relevant to this other thing that I'm learning about, or that makes me think about X, Y, and Z. And then wonderings of, I wonder why they made that choice, or I wonder if this means X, Y, Z, or I wonder how what else we could learn about this. So what's going on with this graph is a fantastic resource in and of itself each week once you pull up a visualization and pull it through. And almost even more so is the treasure trove of the archive. So many weeks of different visualizations. And I should say, why is this archive so exciting? Because each week they post a graph and then students can work on it. And then later in the week, the American Statistical Association comes in and responds to students' questions, and that's all captured here. So there's a wide range of topics. There's an introduction video if you're curious about it, a news article about it. So what's going on in this graph? A great place to look. Another great place to look is Turner's Graph of the Week. Shout out to the classroom teachers. So Turner's Graph of the Week is put together where she pulls a graph each week and that different students can engage with and think about and work through. Again, a fantastic treasure trove of each week. There are new things coming in, so a great resource to be aware of as you're starting this new school year. And so we got our 2025-26 school year started, but look at this. Everything from last year and the year before, all of these great things in Google Doc version, where the sources are from. Hello, love the sourcing, all of those different things, okay? So Turner's Graph of the Week, another fantastic site to check out. It is updated regularly, just like what's going on in this graph. And the fantastic slow reveal. Also, somebody in the classroom supporting is an instructional level, yay instructional coaches, building out resources. These are also updated quite frequently. So you can jump in and you can look for the different kinds of graphs and learn about the process to replicate it yourself so that you could take the slow reveal process and apply it to visualizations, maybe that you find from some of these other repositories and bring it into your own classroom, or just go along with the great ones that Jenna and her team put up each week. So these are just a range of different places that you can find new visualizations and data sets that bring in, that incorporate, that connect to your classes. Okay, so with that, go back, enjoy the rest of your day off. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope the school week goes well for you and my kids personally, selfishly. And until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and I'll talk